All righty, folks. We're here on Nino's Corner.tv. I'm here with David Weiss once again. And I catch a lot of shit for having you on, but but I also get a lot of I get a lot of good feedback. I've always said I'm still the skeptic. I don't necessarily believe the earth is flat.
Dave, I'm going to let you in on a secret.
Hold on, Dave. You raise a lot of questions, and you're able to, with any question I have, you have a rebuttal for, you have an answer for, which I respect. And I just know NASA's not telling the truth. I know they're full of shit, and I know it's like the Hollywood of space. So given that, let me go into my little spiel here real quick, Dave, and we'll get started. Sound good?
Sounds good.
My digital money, folks, my digital money's cash account is here. Finally, a crypto cash trading platform with top-notch US-based client service that actually answers the phone to help you when you need it. Whether it's help recovering a password, questions about cryptos in our platform, help in submitting documents or other issues, we will answer your call. We also features to help you make better crypto investment decisions that are either not available or you have to pay for in other platforms. Trigger order, automatically sell or buy coins based on your own perimeters to guarantee the opportunity for gains or minimize loss. Gains, loss prompt. Know how much you are making or losing in real time. Tax options. You can choose how to sell your cryptos to make your taxes most efficient for your needs. Since MDM offers both crypto, IRA, and cash trading, there is no need to move from one platform to another for all your different crypto investments. You can do all your crypto investment in one platform and enjoy a customer service quality you can't find elsewhere. This company is owned by our friend Colin Plume from Noble Gold Investments. This is a company you can trust. Although we are offering cryptocurrency investments, our primary product is service. We are here to help you. Just dial 833-636-2008. Hit the link below, folks, and get started with my digital money. All right. And, folks, also, Nino's Corner.tv, 30% off right now, 30% off Nino's Corner.tv for the Black Friday sale. It's only good for on Nino's Corner.tv on the Black Friday sale. And it's going fast. It's only going to last until Black Friday.
I guess I guessed wrong. I had all set for the keto with Nino backdrop. So,
yeah, I already knocked that out.
All right. Well, there you go.
No, but listen, I mean, thanks for bearing with me on that. You start growing a little bit, you start having to do this stuff. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. But listen, man, I'm always excited to have you on. I have a very open mind. You know that, Dave. We talk in private. But I gotta play the skeptic, Dave. I can't be fucking jumping on.
You are playing the skeptic, but
here.
You forgot to wear your matching sweatshirt today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to send me some stuff, man.
I will happily send you one of these sweatshirts if you wear it. But here's the thing. And for those of you that have seen me here before, you might have hated me at first. Now you're like, wait a minute, this guy's making sense. For those of you that have no idea what this is one of the most important topics. And most people are like, what do you mean it's the most important topic? Look at the craziness going on in the world, right? Like all of the stuff you're following in the news, Dave, they're getting away with all of this because people are lost in space, spinning out of control. And that's the problem. You understand? So,
well, I know for a fact NASA is not telling the truth. It's a lie.
Right.
I have a hard time believing. I don't think we've ever left Earth's lower orbit.
Correct.
I can believe that there's some kind of dome above us. I feel like we are living in the Truman Show. Every day I feel like this reality is not really what it's supposed to be. It's been hijacked by whatever you want to call demonic presence, Satan, Lucifer, whatever. But we're being lied to, and I see it. I see it every day.
Yeah. So the other thing is there's so much deception in this world. Think about this. They're lying about where we live, right? To the point where, people think that this is what flat Earth is. This is not what flat Earth is. They want you to think that this is what flat Earth is.
Is there a chance, Dave, that we could be living on a planet that's obtuse? that's kind of like this, and nothing at the bottom. Just
funny you should say that, because that's what they're trying to program with. I have an image for you in a second. I
just believe in outer space. I think there has to be an outer space.
Well, when you talk about outer space, what are we talking about? Antarctica. So let me just pull up this picture. Sorry about that. If we live here in this inner space, what's out here? That would be the outer space, David. Okay. And
what are meteors? What are asteroids? What's the moon? I mean, I can see them. I can see stars. I can see the moon.
Correct. So first, if we live here in the inner space, out here, this is an old Japanese map, whether you believe it or not. It's a story we're told. It was in the New York Journal, which is now the New York Times, I believe. And it's showing all of these continents in what I call the outer space. Outer space is beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Antarctica is the shoreline of our known world. And what's out there? So what's more likely?
That's an actual map.
That's a map, they say, that was 10 centuries old. It was found in Hawaii, I believe. And it's showing a map of all these other continents beyond Antarctica.
And why wouldn't they want us to know about that?
Well, because they want to put you in a prison. That prison is a prison for your mind, and they put us on a ball, right? So what they did, this is the most accepted flat Earth map. Where is it? My AE map just disappeared. So we don't have by the way, they're the Gleason's map. This is the most. Hold on. Here we go. A new system here, so I'm just getting used to it. This is the most accepted flat Earth map. We don't have a perfect map, but it's way better than the globe. The globe doesn't work at all. As a matter of fact, they're telling us in the latest Time magazine cover, they're telling us that there's a new map, which is here. It is this is I think most current. It says a new, more accurate map, and they got this weird Earth-looking thing up there. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is just the other day they were talking about you were mentioning it about the missiles from Taiwan, right? They're talking about China launching missiles, and they're coming around the Earth, and the Pentagon is baffled on how they can go Mach 5, right? So. This is the article. Pentagon officials remain baffled by Chinese hypersonic missile technology after being tested with weapons that could deploy a nuke, right? Whenever you hear nuke, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we'll get into another time. But it's going 5 times the speed of sound, and they're baffled how they can go 5 times the speed of sound, right? But Dave, we forget that the space shuttle goes 25 times the speed of sound. Okay, this hunk of junk can go faster than this technologically.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when
that's what they say. That's what they say.
They say it's going over 17,500 miles an hour to break orbit. When this thing, the SR-71, can only go 2,300 or 3,200, Mach 3.2, whatever it is. And that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Here it is, Mach 3.2. Any faster, this thing will rip apart. But then they tell us that this hunk of junk, this garbage can go Mach 33, 22,000 miles an hour. Can. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Think about it. The logos don't burn off. The color doesn't burn off. There's no paint on this thing, because at Mach 3.2, the paint would come off. It goes
right, and I'm not saying that that's what I've said before. They lie to us all the time. So okay, yeah, I mean,
right. So now when we go back to the Chinese the article about the nukes coming over, Pentagon's baffled how it can go Mach 5, but we can go Mach 33 in a garbage can. Okay. So all of it is nonsense. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether the threat of Taiwan and Chinese starting a war, China starting a war is a real threat, it's a staged threat, or it's organic, or it's complete nonsense, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because the outcome's the same. They're gonna, whether it's a false flag, whether it's real, whether they're working together or the governments are not working together, it doesn't matter. The result is the same. We're all being fooled. We're all being led down a pathway. What's in the news? Look at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
All over the news. You know what was in what trial's going on at the exact same time?
Maxwell,
right. And
that's
what do we get?
The big one.
We get one sketch of what's going on.
Yeah,
okay,
that's the one where everyone. Yeah, that's another whole topic for another show. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then the latest thing.
Everyone's yelling at me because I'm not covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I'm like, don't you know it's smoke and mirrors, you morons?
There's so much. I'm not making any claims whether he did kill people, whether it was.
I don't fucking care at this point.
Again, it doesn't matter.
Is Maxwell.
Right. It doesn't matter whether it's real, set up, stage. Doesn't matter because they're just taking everyone's minds, getting us to fight over it. It wasn't real. There was a green screen. It wasn't a green screen.
Yeah.
And then and now we have this car that ran through the was it a parade that was going on?
Another distraction. Another way to take you off the ball. Take your eyes off the ball.
Here's just a little coincidence. Doesn't prove anything. This is a trailer from South Park that went out. That's about a thing they're putting out on Thanksgiving, and they're talking about it's called post-COVID. And did you see that? A red car,
Wow.
same color, running over people, came out a couple days before this thing happened.
They got to hide it in the open.
Let's just say coincidence on that, you know?
Yeah.
And then, funny, the guy's got a skateboard. I don't know. Kyle, the whole thing with him was being beaten up with a skateboard. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching too far.
No, I don't think you are. Like these days, I'm open to anything now, Dave.
So getting back to the Earth. This map is used for navigation. This is what pilots use. This has been used for ever. It's the most accurate map of the world. Some people say, well, Australia, it's just the globe stretched out. And in reality, it's the other way. They took our map and wrapped it around the globe. So here's our map. They literally brought it in Photoshop and created this. And this is a prison for your mind. Right? So there's no place to go when in reality, what's beyond Antarctica? Dave, we don't know because of the Antarctic Treaty. No one's allowed to go out there. What's out there?
That's suspicious in itself.
Yeah, no one's allowed to
go. But
then
I've also heard there's extraterrestrials there.
Think about it. Extraterrestrials, extra terra, extra land. Think of that Japanese map I just showed you. That's extra territory. So if you lived out there, you're an extraterrestrial from where? The outer space. All of the largest telescopes in the world are located in the southern countries, Santiago and New Zealand and South Africa, and they're all pointing outwards. They're not pointing up. They're pointing out.
Dave, what about in the southern hemisphere? Don't you see a whole different set of constellations, or does everyone see the
100%.
same?
No, 100%.
Okay, so then that would show that they're on the.
Dave, this is so. First thing is, if you Google Antarctica from space, you only get cartoons. All of these are cartoons. There's no photos of Antarctica. Now there is some photos where you see some stuff along the edge, but all of the interior is all made up in garbage. So let's get to the stars. How we see different constellations. Dave, if you and I are in a room, with 10-foot high ceilings and we have recessed lights, we'll say those are the stars. Okay. Now expand that room to the size of New York City, even bigger. Okay. I send you 5 miles away from me. One, I'm not going to be able to see you because if you've ever been to Vegas, even in like the Bellagio, the hallways are so long that the lights on the ceiling merge with the floor at the far end of the hallway due to perspective. So if I sent you 5 miles away, one, I can't see you. Two, we both look up. We're going to look up at completely different lights. It's all due to perspective, right? You're on the
that.
Yeah, you're on the far side of the room.
I mean, okay.
And here's the thing.
You got an answer for everything.
Here's the thing. I don't have an answer for everything, but flat Earth is the truth. The globe is the biggest, dumbest lie ever. Where once you
Could they both be lies? I mean,
well, here's the thing. flat earthers know that we don't know many things.
Right. I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that.
We know that. Globers think, oh, well, boats go over the horizon. That proves that the earth is flat. Well, no, it doesn't. Right. And when you go up higher, you can see farther. Anybody could do this. If you find a nice big field, like a football field, put a football on the 20-yard line, go to the far end of the field, lay down and put your ear on the ground and look at that football. First, the grass is going to cover of like half of the football. The grass in the foreground is going to be bigger because it's closer, and it's going to cover half of the football, and the football is going to be sitting on a horizon. You're not going to be able to see any grass behind it. But then when you stand up, now all of a sudden you can see the last 20 yards all the way into the end zone because so that doesn't prove that the football field's a sphere. It just proves that a higher angle of view gives you a farther view. But they've brainwashed people thinking, oh, because you're higher, you're seeing over the curve of a ball. Well, you could see, raising up on a ball, yeah, you would see a little bit farther, but it's the same thing on a flat earth. It makes more sense on a flat earth.
You don't think it could be a little rounded a little bit, just a curved, just a kind of tiny bit?
I hear you, but no way does the earth curve in any way. It's scientifically testably provably flat.
Now my audience is say, oh, bullshit, we've seen pictures of people in space. It shows the earth rounded. You're going to say that's a fisheye lens.
Well, it is a fisheye lens. This is 120,000 feet, and this is flat. But the diameter, they tell us the diameter from the center of the earth to the edge of the earth is just short of 4,000 miles. So here's your curvature, right? That's the diameter. The distances that we see would require a diameter of over 250,000 miles versus the 4,000. Okay, we can see with infrared technology now, we can see way, way, way farther, and that would require a diameter of on Earth, many, many, many times bigger than they say. But again, large bodies of water at rest lay flat, and that's it. That's scientifically provably flat.
What about the currents, the tides? They say that's from the moon. They say the lunar,
right?
That's what creates the ocean tides and movement, right?
There's actually
cycles or whatever.
That's actually no correlation to the moon, because the full moon supposedly has a higher tide. When the new moon, the moon's still there. It's just not lit in the heliocentric model. It should still have the same amount of tide, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is the official story.
All that is the brightness from the sun, right? If the moon that's just the effect of the light.
Right. So that shouldn't affect the gravity, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
The moon is its own, excuse me, the moon is its own source of light. But here's the official story. This you're going to have a hard time believing this. So if my head was the moon, it's pulling this water away from the earth and creating a bulge. But at the same time, there's a high tide on the far side of the earth. This is a fact. And this is the official explanation.
Right now, you're showing the flat Earth model or the globe
no.
model?
This is the globe. This is the globe,
okay.
So this here is a bulge of water. Where this is representing a high tide. Okay. So the moon is pulling the tide. This is what they tell us. It's making a high tide here, but at the same time, there's a high tide on the other side of the earth. That's because the moon is pulling the earth away from the water that's on the other side. Does that make any sense, David?
Not really, no.
Right. And then it gets worse. Then they tell us that the tides don't move. They're locked to the moon and the earth rotates through the tide. Dave.
Yeah.
This is stuff that people just like hear it. They're like, oh, well, it's got to be true because Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And they teach it in school, and Neil deGrasse Tyson comes out, the shill that he is.
Yeah.
He's a shill.
Yeah, and Dave, they're mocking us all the time. And if you look at the the Bezos rocket, look at this thing, look at it, and
the dick,
it got cut off. Yeah, it's the dick, and then the other one, but
isn't that
Branson?
Dick, but isn't that more aerodynamic? I mean, they wouldn't send something flat up. I mean, I guess they could.
Well, Dave, here's the thing. Nobody goes up on these rockets.
You don't think you're looking a little too far into it right here?
Well, you know what? That's a stretch. I'm with you. But again, when they show us this stuff, Let me just show you. When they show us this rocket, this is what they show us. All right. Here we go. Transition. Whenever they show us the Bezos rocket, the camera's got this funny motion. I think I showed you this last time. Didn't I show you this? Right?
Yeah.
Look, Dave, they're literally mocking us. Watch the next shot. When they cut the next shot, what are they doing here? What
They're fucking space.
Right.
Dave, I mean, you don't think you're looking a little too far into it right there? I mean,
so let's look at some more realistic stuff. This is Elon Musk shot his Tesla into space.
That right there, I could tell it's fake.
Thank you.
They're saying that's real.
Yeah, they're saying this is real, and it wasn't even up as
fake.
high. It wasn't even up as high as the ISS, and they're showing this. Right?
Yeah,
there's so many things. There's so many things wrong with this. And they said the car wasn't modified. How come the tires didn't explode? Where's the rear view mirror? Well, okay,
you're right. Why is how's the windshield intact?
Yeah,
that would break.
Yeah, the temperature swings 500 degrees, every time you're in and out of the sun.
That right there by itself is just such a lie. Look at that bullshit.
Yeah. And then if you look at the other day, they sent Shatner up into space. 94?
He wouldn't be able to he can't even probably do a jump rope one time.
So check this thing out. This thing is coming down, right? And then watch it slam into the ground, right? Look at that.
Oh my gosh, they would be like,
he would be destroyed.
Yeah.
And then the problem is, and then when they get there, no ambulances. Dave, at a bike race, at a marathon, at a kids event, they have ambulances.
No kidding.
Not a single medical person.
So they
was
just
there.
land in the desert and will walk off somewhere.
Just land, and then they come out with a chair, with a staircase, and they come out. And William's going, "Oh, the blackness of space." He's a horrible actor. Horrible.
Yeah, and that's what he is. Though he is an actor. But here's the thing: is what piqued my interest in the flat Earth is that I know the moon landing was fake. I know it was.
Yeah.
I don't get a Wi-Fi signal in New Mexico when I'm driving through New Mexico. Yet you're going to tell me they were able to televise the moon landing. How many miles away is it? Supposedly, like 400,000, 300,000 miles away.
238,000 miles away
in the 1960s. No, you didn't. You're
right.
lying. You're lying.
And then when you look at the Red Bull jump, he went up to 127,000 feet, and they lost communication with them, Dave. They couldn't communicate from the Earth to 127,000 feet.
They couldn't communicate with who?
With Felix. No, Felix Baumgartner. Baumgartner. I'll never get his name right, so nobody give me crap about it.
That's all right.
They had a hard time keeping in contact with him at 127,000 feet, which is about this
You're in
size.
good company here, Dave. I butcher everyone's last name.
Thanks. What else? You brought up a couple other things that.
I mean, there's a lot we could talk about. I think you should show for the new audience that's watching this, going, "Oh, this is crazy. Everything I learned in school is real." Can you show them the horizon? How you can pull them back up on, with a telescope? Because I think that's important for people to see.
First, I'll pull that up in a moment. But first, this is what you have to believe if you believe in the heliocentric system. Nothing exploded, created everything. Gas balls made suns, and rocks made planets, and left a vacuum in between, which is impossible. But we'll just let that slide. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, which means when you're watching the sunset, it's not going down because it's going away, just like it is. It's going down because you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. You're orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. You're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, right? This is a hypersonic track sled. Watch it. It's going to go by a couple times at Mach 8.6, okay?
Wow.
Mach 8.6. Now,
and they're saying that's Mach 8.
This is Mach 8.6.
The space shuttle is going how fast?
Oh, Mach 20, 23.
People are in there.
Mach 33. Sure. Mach 33. We're orbiting the sun, David. We're orbiting the sun 10 times faster than this, and we're chasing the sun at 100 times faster than that in a curved, corkscrewing path. But when we go into nature, we see things like this.
I'm not going to deny you're right. You make complete sense.
Dave, nature doesn't lie. Men lie. Okay. This is showing you a perfectly still world. People go, well, even though we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting 10 times faster than a rocket sled, chasing the sun in a curved path 100 times faster, gravity makes lakes like this. That is just a weak mind that has been trapped, that has been fooled, somebody's ego that is unwilling to let go of their lifelong indoctrination, because you've been indoctrinated before you can talk. Before, when you were a baby, everything is globes. Sesame Street, globes. All of the kids' cartoons, everything. First worksheet you bring home from school, planet orbits and sun, moon, and the stars orbits. Okay? That's the first thing you're taught in school, like, one of the first things.
Are you going to show the horizon? Like
Um,
how the ships disappear on the horizon? Because I think that's very important to show my audience.
yes.
Because, and I have other questions. I mean, I have loads of questions. It's just like whatever pops in my head first, I guess.
Right. So, let me pull that up. This is why I'm pulling that up. This is the Suez Canal, over 100 miles long, and they never accounted for any curvature. There should be over a mile of curvature. A mile. Right? A mile of curvature makes no sense. So when Bill Nye, the line guy with the bow tie, he says that if a boat goes over the curve of the earth, it disappears from the bottom up. He's 100% correct. But we don't live in Narnia on a spinning ball. The earth is flat and things do appear. Now, if you look out here, there's no boat. But as we increase, we're zooming in, increasing the angular size, all of a sudden you can see there is a boat. Okay?
Right.
And
if the earth was curved, that boat would be
you wouldn't
be able to pull it up.
You'd zoom into a physical horizon. And now as I zoom out, you'll watch several reasons why it's disappearing from the bottom up. It's disappearing from the bottom up because the bottom has the lowest angle. But if you stood up, just like with that football in the football field, you can now see farther. You'd be able to see the boat. If you went up higher, you'd be able to see the boat, except if its angular size was beyond the limit of your eye.
This is bizarre. I mean, this is the one thing that stumps me every time. This
is the thing that got me when I first was fighting the idea that the earth could be flat. I saw these videos. So I went out and I bought a $1,000 camera, super zoom Nikon P900. Now there's the P1000, and you could zoom in and see things that are gone on a physical ball, the size that they tell us. A 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of the ocean should not be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles away. There is required by physics, actual science, that the physical horizon would be 3 miles away and everything below that would drop down. Now, something's taller beyond that, it'll stick up for a while on a ball, just like they tell us. But we can go out and we can see buoys that are 10, 15 miles away. Right? It's impossible. From here in Connecticut, I can see underneath the Whitestone Bridge, Dave. The top of those stanchions should be below the horizon. And I can see underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they just yell refraction, and here's the thing. There's all sorts of different things that make things disappear. There is refraction. When you get out farther, the water will mirror the sky. Okay. And then things will disappear, and then the waves in the foreground are bigger because they're closer, and then the horizon is kind of blocked behind those waves. Like right now, my finger blocks half of my face. That could be a wave closer to you, but when I bring that towards me, look, it only covers the bottom of my chin.
Right.
Yeah. And then so this boat isn't floating in the air. This boat is just on the water, but you can't see the water. And if there was no land behind here, you would think that this is the horizon, but it's not, right? So here's an example that we did. So there's a matchbox on this table, and I'm zooming in, and we see it. And we don't have any waves, we don't have any atmosphere. And as I zoom out, its angular size gets too small. The refraction of just the table, it's invisible. But if I stack some more matchpacks on top of it, I'd be able to see them. I go up higher, I can see them. I can see it, and I can see the table behind it. But when I get down to the level of the table, I can't see it unless I zoom in, just like I did with the sailboat. Okay? That table is not spherical.
Huh.
Right.
Look
And
at
Dave,
that.
yeah, and Dave, the optics of the sky.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah, and we did it in a Home Depot floor. I got to do it again because we got lost in the YouTube purge. Got an iPhone, put the camera on the ground with the lens, close to the ground, and put a brick right in front of it, covered the whole screen. Drag that brick away to the point where you couldn't see it anymore. Lift the iPhone up.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why would YouTube purge your videos?
A lot of
What
stuff
are they
got
scared of? Why?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
If you Google flat Earth, whatever, anything with flat Earth in it, you get the same results. Like the most popular video, one of the greatest learning videos is called a very unique name, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth 21 Questions. Okay, by ODD TV. You search that and you're going to get all of the same shill videos. Professor Dave, Simon Dan. You're going to get all of these propped up propaganda gaslighting straw man arguments against flat Earth, all nonsense, right? And you won't. They're hiding it. They're shadow banning it. Right now, we're still on YouTube. They're not hiding.
I'm kind of nervous to put this on YouTube.
No. Dave, this won't. Just don't put flat Earth in the title. You're fine. Okay. Don't put flat Earth, and there, no one gets strikes for anything flat Earth. There's nothing to worry about there, right?
Next thing you know, my channel's bombed.
It's not. You're going to be bombed by butthurt globe trolls, but that's fine.
And who's that one guy I brought your attention to? That's a glober that always discredits the flat earthers and just mocks you guys and makes fun of you guys. He's got millions of views on all his
Simon Dan.
What's his name?
Simon Dan.
Simon Dam.
Yeah.
I'm challenging you, Simon Dam, to a debate with my man here, David Weiss. I'll referee it. Come on. Throw some balls and come on the show, and we'll do this together. Listen, I'm just going to referee it. Simon Dan and David Weiss. Let's see it. What do you think, David?
You know what? I will do it with Simon Dan. There's just other guys out there that just talk circles and nonsense. I just did an interview that's coming out soon, if these guys air it, with a theoretical physicist, an F-16 pilot, and another theoretical physicist host of the show. Fan of theoretical physics, and I had Jaron on with me from Jaronism channel. We destroyed them. I can't wait for it to come out.
And I got to remain neutral. So the challenge is out there for Simon Dan to come on the show against David Weiss. Challenge is out there. I remain neutral. I can't take either side, but I'll referee this. I'll judge it. Well, we'll leave it up to the audience to judge. But
and then you get stuff like this when they want to confuse people about mirages. This was all over the news. Look at this ship; it's floating in the air, right? But this is just a simple optical illusion. And when you really look at what's going on, this boat is sitting on the water. This is just a wind line. This is smooth water, and the sky is very uniform. So it's not doing anything. The real horizon is here. So now you can see it, rough water, smooth water, and the horizon's somewhere out here, right? But the news is like, oh, Fata Morgana mirage and this, and the Earth's curvature and refraction. Just, no, it's smooth water and rough water, and there's the horizon. It's not floating anymore. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And then, so as I was saying, the optics of the world, the optics are no way to prove, when you look into the sky, to prove the shape of the Earth. We can measure the shape of the Earth, anything that we can touch. Oh, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about you said something, now I'm forgetting what it is. It'll come to me in a second. But here's a question. Are these tables the same width and dimension?
I'm going to say yes because you're going to say
yeah, of course they are, but they don't look it, right?
Right.
So unless you can touch it and measure it, right, you don't know the shape, the shape and size. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. And then, if we look at the moon, people say the moon looks round. I agree. The moon does look round. But what is the moon? Are these round? Right. The first one, well, it's kind of tricky. It's a half a dome. What about the second one? This is my favorite. Is that one round? Is that one spherical?
Yeah. Why doesn't the moon rotate, by the way? Why doesn't
Because they say it's gravitationally locked. Okay. That's absolutely ridiculous. And And so one of the arguments on the flat Earth is, well, how can somebody in South America see the moon, the same face of the moon, if the ball, they're assuming it's a ball, versus somebody on the inner north, right? Because you'd be kind of looking at different sides of the moon. And as I said, the optics of the sky are no way to prove the Earth. But moon optics. Here we go. So this guy in the pool, look at his body. It's facing us, but he's really facing straight forward. Okay.
Yeah.
So we believe that there is some sort of lens in the sky, whether it's a physical lens or, but we believe that the sky is water. That sounds crazy for anybody new, but think about it. NASA, everything is, ships, docking, the Sea of Tranquility. It's all nautical terms. Why are they using nautical terms all the time? It's very strange. Doesn't prove anything. Just very interesting.
What about, let's get into the flight patterns as well, because I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah, the southern flights,
they don't go over Antarctica. They're not allowed to go over Antarctica, right? But you're saying that's because Antarcticas exist all around the globe.
Well, that's what the
flat Earth, I mean.
Yeah, because you can't circumnavigate. Nobody has circumnavigated heading south. East and west are circles around the center, right? East and west right here. So east and west is a circle. This is west. This is east, right?
Right.
South is every direction away from the north. That's south, while that's south also. Okay. Here's the flight path for from Santiago to Australia. And if you look at it on a flat Earth map, it kind of makes a lot more sense. Like, why going from two southern locations on the bottom of a ball, why would you ever cross the equator? And many flight paths do cross the equator. For example, here's one. Sorry about that. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Got to turn that off. Oh, that's not what I was looking for, but I will get there. This is we talk about emergency landings last time?
No, I've never talked to you about emergency landings.
Okay, so NASA is in charge of all of the flight paths of international flights. They're in charge of all of the radar and GPS. Okay, so here's a flight from Los Angeles to Perth, and it had to. This is what it looks like on a globe. Here's what it's here. But let me pull up emergency landing. Wait, this one had an emergency. Did this one have an emergency landing? I forget. Let me show you a different one. So here's a flight path from New York to Hawaii, and they had an emergency landing in Seattle, right? So look at where Seattle is.
Right.
But on the flat Earth map, Seattle's right along that flight path. Right?
Got you. Yeah.
Here's another one, emergency landing in Moscow. Moscow is no longer on the ball on the flight path, which is the most direct route. They went way out of the way to Moscow, but if you look at it on a flat Earth, it makes perfect sense. Here from Tokyo to Mexico City, they stopped in Alaska, right? Why did they go to Alaska? Wow. It's right because it's going right across Alaska right there. Another one from this one stopped in Calgary. Why did it go all the way to Calgary from Dallas to Beijing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. No doubt it's interesting.
Yeah. So again,
it does raise questions. I can't deny that.
It does. It raises a lot of questions. Yeah, another one stopped in Moscow. Again, what are the odds that all of these emergency landings would have their stop somewhere along a line that goes from the origin to the destination? This one is one of my favorites, Taiwan to Los Angeles, and it went all the way to Alaska. Look at where Alaska is on the top of that ball. Alaska's right here. Emergency happened right here near Hawaii. Supposedly, if you look at it
Yeah,
on the
Alaska
ball.
emergency landing in Alaska. It looks further.
It's way further. They could, because it happened when they were out near Hawaii. I can't reach over there because it goes behind.
So they go north. They go all the way north, and just instead of finishing and completing the flight to Los Angeles.
Yeah, they go all the way to Alaska, and that's because
no sense. You're right.
Right there, Dave. Right, and again, this is the book 16 emergency landings that document all of these. Now there's actually a 17th one that just happened the other day. But these flights, again, in my opinion, prove that the Earth is.
And here's another question I have. Satellites, because
right.
I always wonder. There's so much supposed space junk. How do you send anything up there without it crashing into space junk? Because how do you send a space shuttle up? How do you send anything up? Well, they got to get the coordinates correctly and all this stuff. No, because supposedly there's so many satellites up there. You're bound to hit something. There's supposedly tons of space junk. Am I right in saying that?
Dave, the imagery of there's a live, I got to add it to my presentation, but there's supposedly this live map. You can track satellites. It's literally like a crazy beehive. Like if you threw a rock at a massive beehive.
I've seen it. It's cluttered with satellites. Like, how do you get anything up there?
Well, first we have to talk about what are satellites, right? There's no way that you can see a satellite. Well, I've seen satellites. Well,
I've supposedly seen. I've looked up at the night sky and I've seen like stars going by really fast, and everyone's always told me that was a satellite.
Dave, do you want to know what they really are?
Fuck, what?
I don't know. I'd like to know too. But I'm saying,
I don't know. There you go.
All right,
that's the best answer.
Yeah. So here's what we do know: NASA launches tens of thousands of satellites on balloons. Right? They're the number one consumer of helium, and they own all of the large helium companies in the world. And these balloons can stay up there for years.
So NASA does launch satellites. They do launch the satellites
on balloons within our atmosphere, David, and they can control them, their height electrostatically, and they can put them in different wind currents so they can keep them over the same. So
you're saying that
area.
Satellites do exist, but they're just at a high altitude.
This is a satellite on a balloon. Satellites exist. People build satellites, right?
But does a balloon pop and it stays up there or something?
It stays up there for years. And by the way, I'm going to add that too. There's satellite crashes all the time in the southern countries, in Brazil, and people now everyone has a high def camera in their pocket. So people are filming these things. They're crashing in the ocean. They're crashing in the jungles, and they get picked up rather quickly. But plenty of videos go out. But here's the thing, Dave. You got to think about this scientifically, right? When you look up at a 747, it's the 747 is at the edge of that. I'll call that a contrail because I believe that is a contrail. But can you see the engine on that plane on the tip of that line, on the other end of this line? Right. And that's at cruising altitude of about 5 miles.
How would we see a satellite?
A satellite is 20 to 50 to 200 times higher. No, wait,
that makes no sense, dude. Right 50, there, that makes no sense. You would not be able to see a satellite.
You would not be able to see it at the height of a 747, right? But let's double the height. Let's quadruple the height. Let's 10 times the height. Well, no satellite is that low. Okay. So there are lights in the sky. The only thing that you can honestly say about them is they're lights in the sky, David. Okay. And here's the problem. People right now that are new to this, they're short circuiting. Like, everybody can't be in a lie. They can't even keep a blowjob a secret. That is all a psyop. All of that is a psyop, right? So, how do we communicate? Well, all of our communications are done with undersea fiber optic cables, which also prove that the Earth isn't a globe, because Santiago is pretty darn close to Australia, but the cable from Santiago goes all the way up into the north, all the way across, and then all the way back down. That makes no sense.
And what about, I have another question. Like, well, I've seen shooting stars. I've seen them with my own eyes. And I mean, the thing that does get me, though, is the sun and the moon just happen to be the same size in the sky, at least from my perception.
Yeah, wait until you see this, the theoretical physicists. When we asked them how they figured out the size of the sun, they go, look, we'll use the math on the size. And I'm like, oh, so then the moon is the same distance, right? Because it makes no sense. Unless you know the size and the distance, you can't figure out the other. The moon could be super close, super far. If something They tell us that the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon and 400 times farther. Okay. And that makes them look like the same size. They tell us the moon, excuse me.
That's right.
They tell us the moon is going around the earth one direction and the earth is going around the sun the other direction. But when we watch the stars, moon, and sun, no matter where you are in the earth, they rise in the east and they set in the west. Okay. East and west are circles. You got to remember that. So you have to believe, let's say this satellite here is a geostationary satellite. Okay. A geostationary satellite. That means that it has to remain over the same spot of land all of the time. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we think about what the world is, in the heliocentric world, we're spinning, twirling, whirling, going through space in all these different directions. How the hell does that thing remain over the same piece of land? Right? Your Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
These are very logical, simple questions, man, that are just like people don't ask.
Well, people aren't taught to think. You're taught to memorize, because if you memorize what's in the Rockefeller-funded textbooks, you get an A. And then if
that
you're
right
really
there
good,
tells you everything.
If you're really good at it,
funded textbooks.
Yeah. And here's the thing is they sell them to the schools at like a quarter of the cost to make them. Okay. Therefore, no competing company can make a book. Like, hey, Dave, let's say you and I, we want to make a real textbook and we want to sell it to the school at cost. We can't even do that. We'd have to give it away. Right. That's why the schools have to have bake sales to buy their books, and the military can just buy as many missiles as they want, and planes and whatever. Crazy.
God, this is so crazy. This is so insane. So what about, like, one thing I've always wondered, like when I'm up in an airplane and I look out the window, I still don't see any curvature, and I can't deny that. And anybody who says I've had people tell me actually that have gone against you and told me that they've been up 48,000 feet and they saw curvature.
Well, here's the thing. When you look out of an airplane and you're flying at 39,000 feet, the horizon drop would be 78,000 feet below you. Okay. But when you look out the left window, look out the right window on a clear day, that horizon is right at your eye level. Draw a line. It's right at your eye level. Right. That should be 78,000 feet below you. Right now, as you look farther and farther across, the air becomes opaque and it becomes sky. So the horizon might look like it's a little lower. That's just because you can't see it, right? That's just because you can't see forever. Where is it? And then also the way that we see, this is the way that we see. So when you look in any direction with equal weather, you see the same distance at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? You see the same distance where the sky converges with the land, and that is the limit of your vision, right? So we flip that over. Here's a guy standing here. This is the limit of his vision. The tip of that arrow is the limit of his vision. And then if we draw a straight line across there, you'll think that that's curvature. You can draw a straight line, but you're not seeing in a straight line. You're seeing in a circle, David. You're seeing in a circle. So they'll look at this and go, look, that's the curve of the ball. That's not how you see it. That's not how it works.
Right.
They've convinced you that that's the way it is. So again, when we look through the atmosphere, it becomes opaque, right? So look, this mountain, nice and green, lesser, getting lighter and lighter. There's more mountains out here. You just can't see them. So you would think this is a horizon, but it's not. Get it?
Yeah,
right?
I know, I get it.
And here from this viewing height, we can see this mountain. This is ridiculous. There should be 19,000 feet of curvature, I think. And this mountain is visible on a super clear day. It should be well over the curve.
So what are planets, man? I mean, I pulled up on a telescope a planet, and I've seen a planet.
You have. So have you seen these planets?
No, absolutely not.
That's good, because these are frying pan bottoms. But I'm telling you, they look better than most of the planets that NASA gives us. So when NASA shows us a planet, they show us this. But when we look, we see stuff like this, Dave. But look, I can see that on the far on the right there.
It almost looks like water. Like
exactly.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
does, man. That's how they look in the telescope. You're right, but they are circular. So you could say, well, what about that Saturn one right there with the rings?
Right. Well, again, there is something up there that has a ring around it, but how is that dusty ball of rocks and ice ring the same brightness as the planet? Like, why is it lit up like that? It's its own light. What are they, Dave? They're all named after gods. You can make, you could figure it out after there. But if you look at what NASA shows us,
they're interdimensional doorways or something.
Maybe. So NASA shows us this famous picture of Jupiter, right? This is in everyone's seen this picture. It's everywhere, right? But when we put their picture, Saturn, sorry. When we put that in Photoshop, crank up the levels, we can clearly see that this was crappily made in some photo program where they didn't expect us to be able to take their image and crank up the levels like that. And people, like, whatever you want to see, like, people look like what
I'm just saying I don't know, and that's why I love having you on the show, because you pose so many questions that we don't know, and I know NASA has been lying to us since its inception.
What planet would you say that is?
Well, I guess that's Jupiter, right?
You would guess it, except it's really just a meadow with ducks. Okay. All right. So what I'm showing is they can show us anything. It comes from an authoritative source. Just go look up, NASA discovers planet, whatever, and then look at the images. Look at all of the stories. Look up. I never turned the news on, but I was Paige had I was getting some new tires on her car, and I was waiting, and they had the news on, and they were showing this SpaceX launch or something. It's all cartoons, and everyone's just believing it. They're showing cartoons of asteroids and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, that's what you were asking about. Meteor showers. What are meteor showers? Dave, meteor showers are electrical phenomena, right? So when you watch them, we're seeing these little lights go down. They're always going down. Shoot. Right. If we lived on a ball and meteors, what they say, sometimes you would see them shooting up from your horizon. Right. Never. Right. They always go down.
Damn.
They never go up. Right? So depending on where you are, they should go the opposite direction.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Makes complete sense to me. Do me a favor. Show me a flat Earth map with the sun that goes around it real quick, because I have a question. So, with the brightness of the sun, the way it orbits the flat Earth.
How about that? Yes. Like that?
Oh, well, not really. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But see, even on your model, it shows the sunlight just happening to stop. How does it not? You know what I mean? Like it just shows that the sun is, it's going around in a certain clockwise, but how does it not illuminate more of the dark area? How does it just stop right there? You know what I mean? Like it just stops. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
it would be illuminating more of that globe.
Well, that's what you would think. So
the flat Earth.
I'm going to show you. So right now, let me just jump it forward one more month. So in December, when the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn, you see how the light is kind of wrapping around, and that's because it's out near.
Well, hold on, Dave. Now move the sun up to the second little ring there.
Okay, so when we move it, it goes the other way, and
How does it just all of a sudden get dark on the other side of that flat Earth thing? Right? The light would be radiating into that darkness.
So when you watch a sunset,
it wouldn't be dark on that side.
Yes, it would. So let me get my.
It would still be radiating light into that.
Untrue, but I'm going to show you.
I'm just saying that's
so here. This is what I call the sun fade out. Okay, the sun fade out. So this is me. I filmed the sun, and it went from up here and went down, and it should just keep on going if we're spinning, but it didn't. It went down, and then it stopped, and it just sat here for 10 minutes. This is super sped up, and instead of going down, this is a super clear day. No humidity. It was below freezing.
It gets smaller and smaller.
No, it just disappeared, Dave. It disappeared because its light could no longer push through the atmosphere. If you've ever been in a large swimming pool,
Oh,
Olympic-sized
that's kinda
swimming pool,
crazy right there. I gotta see more on that.
yeah. So I have a whole bunch of videos on this.
I've seen the sun going down, but you're gonna say that's my perception from my
well, I'm gonna
optics.
very good, Dave. You know what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna show you. So in a swimming pool, if I drew a smiley face on the far wall, you wouldn't be able to see it because the water just becomes too opaque for you. But if I had a light on that far wall, you'd be able to see the light because the light can push farther. Now, this is in Bulgaria. Is that sun are we spinning, falling over backwards, or is that sun just moving away? This is super clear, super flat land, and the sun is just going away. But you've seen them go from the bottom up, and we're going to explain that. We'll show you a quick little demonstration. So here we go here. So as the sun moves away, I pasted these clouds in. So these clouds merge with the horizon, and when the sun just goes beyond it, it disappears just because it's going beyond your ability to see it. It's the angular perspective. So look at this.
Could we use the same?
Is this sun setting?
Well, then why can't we use a telescope and bring it back?
I'm going to explain that exactly. So when I zoom in on this sun that looks like it's setting, I'm increasing the angular size, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, it's not setting. But it's going to go behind an opaque barrier, which I call the atmospheric deck of opacity. So
is that using a telescope right there?
This is using a super zoom camera, which is better than
really.
Okay,
same time.
Yeah. So here, watch my demonstration here. This is my flat Earth kitchen. My counter is down here. This line is straight and level, and you can confirm that, but it is. And I'm moving that sun along the line. But right here, we have this could be a city skyline, it could be mountains, or it could just be a cloud deck. But it's opaque, and we're watching the sun from a celestial point of view, and it never goes below it. Okay, it never goes below it. So now I have a camera on the other end of the counter, below that thing. And if I show you this line right now, I would say, Dave, is that line level? You'd say no. And I say, is this sun going below that little obstacle I made? And you're like, well, it's at eye level, but it's going below it. How come I can't see it? And it's all due to perspective. Now I'm going to compare. Look at this line. It looks like it's almost going straight down, but it's a level line, David. And this horizon, this apparent horizon, looks like it's at eye level. So now look at the sun over on the right there. That's a real sunset. What's it going behind? It's going beyond the atmospheric deck of opacity, and it's out of our view. The sun's light can only throw light so far. Okay. The sun's light can only throw light so far. Where do I have that?
It's just wild, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely make some very interesting points, and I can't deny it.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to deny it. I mean,
so here's a light.
Anybody watching?
Here's a light on the wall, Dave. No atmosphere, no clouds, no nothing. It can't even light up the whole wall. The light is local. Light doesn't go forever. Now you add clouds and atmosphere and opacity. You know, here's the deck of opacity. The sun just moves away, and it sets. It looks like it's going down, but it's not.
Bizarre.
Not bizarre. It's
just to hear this and see this, it's just crazy. I mean, like I said, I got started on this because I know the moon landing was fake, and then NASA loses all the footage of the moon landing. Of course, how easy?
Right.
NASA losing footage. Sure.
They lost everything.
Yeah. That's what opened my mind to all this.
And here's the thing: if you go searching flat Earth and stuff, you're gonna find all strawman arguments. They're like, well, why doesn't the sun shrink as it goes away? Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes, depending on where you're viewing it from, it does shrink. But other times, like when I was watching that sun fade out, my friends were at the beach. They saw the sunset from the bottom up 10 minutes earlier. Why is that? Because 10 miles across the water is trees that were 200 feet high on high land, but the tops of those trees appeared to be at their eye level due to perspective. Well, the sun just went beyond them and disappeared, right? So they saw it set from the bottom up. But if I set my drone up from the beach, there would be the sun again. not because I'm looking over a ball, just because I am higher
So
than those
you
trees.
think there's a firmament above us, like a dome, and above that firmament is
It doesn't
water?
matter. It doesn't matter what I think. Okay. I personally, I do think that there's water above us, but think about this. Is there a firmament? What is the firmament? Is it, in the Bible, it says it's made of glass or looking glass, hard as looking glass or something like that. Is it energetic? Is it frozen? Is it glass? Or is it just pressure? Think about this, a bubble on the bottom, you're boiling a pot of water. You have a bubble in there. Now put yourself inside that bubble. You're now standing on the bottom of the pan, flat, and you have a dome of water over you without a physical dome. Your air pressure is holding it up, right? When we have, weather, when we have heavy downpours, that's because there's low pressure. I don't know. Maybe there's a correlation there, Dave.
This is interesting. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to show us, Dave?
I want to talk. I mean, I can go on and on and on. What I want to tell people is, if you know the Earth is flat, congratulations, and it changes your life for the better. People say,
what if they're like me and I just claim that I don't know and I don't believe NASA? It's just scary to put yourself in that category of, I'm a flat earther, because immediately people are going to look at you like you're a fucking dipshit or you're nuts.
Well, that's what it used to be, Dave. But now, let me just show you on the app here. If I click that little handshake button, these are the people. These are just a very small percentage of flat earthers near me, right? These are all flat earthers that have my app that have just put in a username for the friend finder. If I go to United Kingdom, let's see if there's anybody over there. United Kingdom. Look at this.
I started telling my parents the Earth is flat. They think I'm nuts.
Well,
they believe nothing else I ever said to them. I
know.
lose all credibility. This is the type of shit that makes you lose credibility.
Well, I used to feel that way, and I when I first heard about flat Earth, I blew it off. I was like, this is going to discredit everything I've done. Right? This is going to
100%. You're looked at as a looney tune.
But Dave, there's millions of us now, and it's growing faster and faster. The app is the way. I'm here selling apps, right? Dave, I quit. I quit a very lucrative company that I started. Okay,
correct.
And not to take this ridicule, but it's changed. You talk about flat Earth with somebody, if they think it's stupid, you like Bitcoin. I'm offering 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. 1 globe proof, and all you have to do is every day there's a featured video right here on the app. Tap that thumbnail, up comes the video. Watch a video each day for 2 weeks. And then, as I say, you too will lose the respect of your friends and family because you'll be a flat earther. But if you still think the Earth is a globe, you hit that question mark and up come all of the questions. Hey, what about eclipses? We just had an eclipse the other day, which actually is impossible on a globe. And up will come videos on eclipses that YouTube is hiding from you. They don't want you to see these, right? I told you about the video, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth, down in the bottom middle, Flat Earth movies. Click that. Up come the best movies, and one of them, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth, right there.
I've also heard that flat earthers or the flat earth movement is a psyop.
Oh, that's show me, prove it. Come collect your 3 Bitcoins. The psyop is controlling your mind, Dave. They want us to think that we are on a spinning ball in an impossible heliocentric, satanic system. They're hiding the creator, Dave. There's, me saying the Earth is flat, and they're hiding the creator. They're hiding the creator, right? Now, there's plenty of people that have found the creator, and they think they live on a spinning ball. But if you go look at the Bible verses in the app, if you hit the web button and go to biblical flat Earth right there in the middle, up come amazing videos. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, I recommend everybody watches these videos. They'll blow your mind. Okay? They'll blow your mind, and then you'll be like, wow. And there's a verse in the Bible that says, once you see my creation, you no longer have any excuse to deny my existence. That's why the elite are hiding this from us, right? That's why they don't want people to wake up, because every one of these blue dots knows there's a creator. Dave, that's amazing.
I know there's a creator. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you don't have
and I always tell people this. I always tell people this: I can prove there's a God, and it's really easy. Matter cannot create conscious thought, but conscious thought can create matter.
Correct.
Not the other way around. And a lot of people are the chicken or the egg. No, it's really easy to think. Consciousness can create a table. A table cannot create consciousness. A thing cannot create a thought. Thought is real. When you have a thought, you cannot touch it, but the thought is there. It exists, but you can make it. If I think of a chocolate cake, or you think of a chocolate cake right now, that thought is in your mind. You know it's real, and you can go make that chocolate cake. But that cake existed in the mind first. Matter, a thing, cannot create conscious thought. Conscious thought is God's mind.
Dave, this is it. We're here expanding the mind of God. The way I look at it, the true currency of this world is souls, right? Your soul is the spark of God that's within you. And when you lose your soul, sell your soul, give it away, you're pretty miserable. You're in hell. That's hell.
That's hell.
And then if you give your soul away,
people do it for fame. Celebrities do it for fame.
Dave, how they're trying to fish our soul away with the soul lure system. Okay. The soul lure system. You think that's funny? I think that's actually what the soul lure system is. They're trying to hide God. They're trying to make you feel insignificant. They don't want you to know that we're at the center of creation. Okay.
And that's why Neil deGrasse Tyson, the Thai guy, what's his name?
Bill Nye, the lion guy.
They're so important. They're shills. They're used basically for this movement.
Correct. 100%.
Pull souls away.
So, Dave, here's the thing. When people first hear about this, they just like, oh, it's ridiculous. You're retarded. And I'm like, okay, is that your best proof that I'm retarded? Okay. That's your best proof. Show me one proof. I'm offering 3 Bitcoins, Dave. That's what's that? $180,000. Okay. 3 Bitcoins for one proof.
Who was the guy I just called out?
Psyop Man Dan.
Psyop Man Dan. You gotta. Here you go, Psyop Man Dan. Here's your challenge. Come debate against my boy David Weiss. I'll be neutral, and I'll referee the debate.
Yeah,
that?
Dave, I'm down for it with him.
He won't take it though. He won't take it.
He won't take it. But there's other guys out there that will. They're like, I'm afraid. There's people that are just so disgusting, Dave. I want nothing to do with them. Okay, Psyop Man Dan. He doesn't debate live. I don't know why these other guys do, but these debate shows, all they do is just divide people. They tire your brain out, and they make you like, oh, I'm not looking to flat Earth. It's just a bunch of drama. It's a bunch of nonsense. That's what they want. They want us fighting all the way.
Yeah,
the
division.
Dave, you'll put this on YouTube, no problem. But the trolls will show up. These empty channels will show up and say, Dave, he's just a scammer trying to sell a $3 app, right? He blah 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 blah. And I always just say, is that your best proof? Go to their channel. They have all of the glow proofs there, which means it's an empty channel. There's nothing on it. So if anyone tells you it's a psyop, say, okay, interesting. Show me. How is it a psyop? Show me how we have curvature. Show me how a 6-foot-tall person can see the beach 10 miles away. Show me how airplanes can fly upside down, right? Show me how we can have high pressure next to no pressure, right? Well, they say, well, gravity's holding the air down. So think about this. If gravity's holding the air down, the Earth is spinning, holding all that air down. Well, if I had a shoebox in a room, an open shoebox, and I took all the air out of the room, gravity should hold the air in that box, right? If the vacuum pulling the air out of the room is below the box, gravity should hold that air in the box. But we know that doesn't happen, okay? Right? You can't have high pressure next to low pressure without a physical container, right? You can't have a ball in a vacuum with air on the outside and water spinning with perfectly smooth lakes. People say, why the lie? People just don't get it. Dave, they're hiding everything. They're hiding the creator. They're hiding our true power.
I know that.
Yeah. And then people say, well, who are they? Well, where'd it go? Who are they? What happened to my, wow, it went away. Something happened here. I don't know why that's doing that. All right, well, there goes the who are they. I can't pull it up.
What are you gonna say? The Rothschilds, Rockefellers?
Yeah, the
elite families,
the the Knights of the Round, whatever, the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission. All of these people are running the world, right? And they don't want you to know the true power of your mind. They don't want you to know anything. And they're
We should
hiding.
now start calling it running the surface.
Running the surface. There you go. Maybe they're running the stuff below the surface too. That's a whole nother show. What's going on below us? With tunnels.
What about people that say about the hollow Earth and they have proof of it and all that? I mean, there's a lot of people that come on and say that.
So in the app, if you hit the mud floods button, especially the John Levy channel, JONLEVI, just go subscribe to him on YouTube. He does these 20-minute videos. And the other day he did one on mud floods, which is, I think it's a great intro to mud floods. There was a whole nother civilization here that got buried in mud. So what's below us? Dave, maybe there's a more denser realm above us and a heavenly, non-physical realm above us. Right. This is
which vibrates at a higher frequency the higher you go. And what gravity could actually be is the denser, lower frequencies holding us down, and we're caught right here in the third dimension. Well, what do you think about that one?
so buoyancy and density sort everything else out. If I had in my hand, I had a helium balloon, marbles, and a ping pong balls, and I held them over a pool. And I opened my hand. The balloon's going to go up because it's less dense in the air. The marbles and the ping pong balls are going to go down. The ping pong balls are going to stay on top of the water. The marbles are going to go to the bottom just because of buoyancy and density. Now, one of the big debates is there a downward force or things go down just because they're dense? I think there's something that says, hey, down is this way, right? And that's called the electrostatic flow, the electrostatic acceleration. The Earth is negatively charged. The sky is positively charged. And when you lift off the Earth, you're now in a positive field. And that flow of energy is going downwards. And it's a weak force. Just like they say gravity is a weak force. But it says down is this way. And then buoyancy and density sort everything else out.
Wow. Dave, thank you for coming on. I'm going to put this on Nino's Corner.tv. Where can people find you, Dave?
You can find me at flatearthdave.com. Links to the app are there. The app is the best way to find information about the flat Earth, because you can Google it. You're just going to get fed propaganda from the mainstream that you might as well just
highly captured.
Yeah,
and, I got you.
So again, just go read the reviews on the app. It's in the Apple App Store. You need an iPhone 6 or better. You need Android 8.0 or higher, and it'll be in the Android store very soon. And just check it out and learn, and then speak out. Dave, we don't have a lot of time. This world is in a I listen to your podcast every day, so
it's going down.
Yeah, the world is going down.
We're going to hell in a handbasket,
and it's because we're lost in space, right? And so every one of those blue dots, those are fighters like you, Dave, like me. They're all people that are speaking up and doing something. Okay, so we may not be the majority of the world yet, but it's coming. And I think that a lot of this is to stop this information, because none of those flat earthers are complying. None of them are wearing masks. I don't want to say it. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I got you.
Shame muzzles and very, very, very few, if any, are doing this.
And they're not scared of the boogeyman. I call that the boogeyman now.
Right. And we're all taking care of ourselves and researching and learning and understanding what's going on. So again, the revelation of the method is they always tell us what they're doing. They always tell us the truth. They're telling us right now, go look at bears, go look at all of that stuff. Look at JFK, RFK, his book on Dr. F, right? Okay. He, amazing. And they're telling us everything. And people are just like, they're zombies. We're in the zombie apocalypse already.
This new generation, this Instagram generation, where they don't care about anything except being narcissists, taking pictures of themselves. That's how we're going in a really bad direction. More people care about taking pictures of themselves in clubs, wherever they are, and using filters to distort their image, not so how they really look. And they sit there all fucking day taking pictures of themselves and posting it. This narcissistic, it's demonic, dude. It's demonic, purely demonic. So self-absorbed, nothing else matters. It's sick. It's a sickness.
Yeah, the astronauts went to the moon. They took like 3 or 5 pictures of Earth, supposedly. And one of the Kardashians went to the bathroom and took 80 pictures of herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There you go. That's it. I always say this too, like back in the 70s and 80s when I grew up in the 90s, if you went to someone's house, and they pulled out a photo album. They're like, "Hey, man, look at this photo album." You would expect to see pictures of families and them all smiling together on trips, on vacations, beautiful scenery.
Right.
Imagine then, put your consciousness back then. You go to someone's house, they pull out a photo album, and it's just pictures of them taking pictures of themselves. You would run out of that fucking house as fast as you could because you would think they're the weirdest individual you've ever met that just takes pictures of themselves. That is now society. That's what we're living in now. That's how sick the human psyche is now. It's a sickness, dude.
Right.
It's a sickness.
Once you start looking into this stuff further and you start to see the lie, you'll wonder how you ever believed it. And once you see it, Dave, life is so interesting. Like, Dave, the world is completely screwed up, but have you had a moment of boredom since you've learned all the stuff that you've learned in the last couple of years? I mean, there's always something to do. There's always new information. Like, I remember there's times where I would be like, I got to wait 20 minutes. I'd sit there staring at the wall or watching something stupid on television. Now it's like, there's not a second of boredom. There's amazing.
There's so many options just on your phone.
And Dave, when you get together at a truther event, you have no time to breathe. You just want to talk to everybody, right? Like, those are good quality people. Not that other people are crappy people. They're just lost. They've got the wool pulled over their eyes. They're sheep, for if you will. Okay. I used to be one. But luckily something woke me up. And now that I'm awake and I could see, I know that I don't know lots of things, and I know I know so much more. So
also learned, for me, I know now my soul does not belong here. I am not, this third dimensional sludge is not me, man. I'm here now physically.
Yeah, but Dave, you're doing a great service. You're helping people wake up. My girl Paige, she listens to you every day.
Thank you.
You're lifting up souls, Dave, and that lifts your own soul. So again, there's so many people that listen to you, and also just another thing. I've been on a bunch of I don't know how to categorize you, a Patriot channel. I would say we'll call you a Patriot channel. I've been on a whole bunch of Patriot channels, and we've had great conversations. Any other Patriot channels that are listening to Dave, I know you're out there. If you haven't had this Flat Earth conversation, invite me on flatearthdave.com. There's a book, Dave, there. We'll start a dialogue. We'll get you set up, and then we'll have this conversation. And again, especially if you think Flat Earth is the dumbest thing, if you think it's a psyop, if you think you have proof that it can't work, let's talk about it.
Yeah, even more of a reason to bring you on.
Yeah, I love, Dave, I love coming on your show, but it's harder and harder to find shows that think the Earth is a ball. People like on my booking,
they're scared to venture into having you on their show because they're scared that it'll discredit everything else they talk about.
But Dave, there's no more time for that. There's no more time to not talk about what's going on with the elite and children. There's no more time not to talk about the deception of who we are, where we are, what we are, the power of our mind. They don't want us to know that our thoughts create our reality. Dave, everything you have is the way you thought.
1,000%.
You became a champion fighter because you saw it before you.
I saw myself being undefeated,
right,
before I even turned pro, and I knew it to be fact,
Dave,
and I did it.
And now
it wasn't until I lost that thought, that I lost the image of myself, that I lost, and I lost fear. Started drinking, and that's when I went spiraling out of control. So,
but Dave, it's all a journey. Right. That spiral has brought you to where you are right now. You're helping so many people. You're helping so many people. It's a journey. And the thing is, now that you understand that, we're in this realm where we have a spark of God in us, and that we're on this mission to expand the mind of God. Well, it's kind of like a ride. It's kind of like a virtual, I call it a physical simulation, right?
Yeah.
We're here having this experience, right? And if you didn't have all of this controversy, if all this stuff wasn't going on, it'd be kind of boring. Right?
Absolutely. It's an adventure. I always look at it like this, Dave. It's a game that we're all playing.
Right.
And it's for keeps. It's fucking awesome. It is a game. And listen, whether you want to complain about what's happening right now or not, it's still an exciting time to be alive, man. This is revelations to me. I think we're living in revelations.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think it's crazy what's going on. And, I'm not here to wake up everybody. I'm just here to talk to the people that are willing to talk. And I think there's an intelligence test going on. It really is an intelligence test because, and it's very easy. Don't be afraid to take the test. You can ace it if you open your eyes, right? And the analogy I use all the time is Neo in the Matrix, right? At the beginning, he's plugged into the mind matrix. He's depressed. He doesn't know what's going on in the world. He's lost. Something's wrong, right? He's literally like sleeping a lot. And then Morpheus gets him unplugged from the matrix. At the end of the movie, look at Neo at the end, put him next to the Neo at the beginning. That's he's awake and aware. It doesn't matter what the world is. He's awake and aware of who he is and the power that he has.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he's become separate from it. He's just.
Yeah. And so
Gotcha.
it does.
Yeah.
So the circumstances around you don't matter. It matters what's going on in your head.
You know your true power and your true self.
And remember what Neo said when he first got unplugged. He's on the table. He's healing. And they're like, why do my eyes hurt? And Morpheus said, because you've never used them before, right? Wow. Wake up to this reality. Start using your eyes. The world is an amazing place. There's no need for Netflix. Just stick your head out the window. It's crazy out there. It's way better. Okay.
I love you, Dave. Thanks for coming on, man. And let's do this, every couple months or every month or so.
As soon as the hate stops for having me on, then we can.
I get a lot of people that support you too, Dave.
All right,
I get a lot of people that support you. I probably get more people. I would say it's 80-20.
David, it's growing because, I've been on SGT Report with Sean. The first time, it was unbelievable. Sean said he lost subscribers. Now he's gaining subscribers. It's flipped. I've been on 5 times. I just did a show with myself and Jaron from Jaronism on his show. I recommend anyone go watch SGT Report. It was like from a week or 2 ago. It came out. Excellent. We really get into NASA. We show some great stuff, and Sean always does a great interview.
I'm going to name this video "The Big Lie?" ?
Okay, whatever you like.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, I don't say flat Earth or nothing like that in the title, but I'll just say "The Big Lie."
Awesome.
David Weiss, "The Big Lie?" ? What do you think?
I think it's great, especially if you put it on YouTube soon.
I'm going to.
All right, awesome.
Tonight.
You all love the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. The best tool to show your friends and strangers how the Flat Earth actually works. But are you ready for a Flat Earth app game changer? A new feature has been added. But first, a reminder of some of the existing features. Video of the day. World time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add a countdown to your next big date. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth. Top 21 frequently asked questions with quick pop-up video answers. Access to the best photos and GIFs at your fingertips. Flat Earth books and merchandise, and more. Now, the game changer upgrade we've always dreamed of having. After a year in development, our app just went next level. You're now able to find Flat Earth app users near you. See where they are and send them an instant message in the app. Instantly arrange for a Flat Earther meetup. When activated, blue dots mark the location of the app users near you. You have 3 choices on showing your location. PP, to pinpoint. This marks your exact location. CC, for city center, which will place you within a few miles of your current location. Or turn off, which removes you from the map altogether. Use it when traveling, or when you're out for a day at the beach, or while eating out somewhere. Find out where other Flat Earthers are and connect. Find like-minded Flat Earth app users and regain your sanity. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.